Your wife does not have to cook, clean, or do any of that for you. But if she does, that's a blessing for her in front of Allah. So this is a sheikh, I guess, popular. And this is the TikTok where he talks about the wife's duty or lack thereof.
Inside the home, they are in charge. Don't come home with your chest poked out. Where's the food? What's going on? Blah, blah. Go get this. Why you didn't? Be quiet. Leave the sister alone.
Leave the sister alone.
Don't tell her what kind of curtains. Don't tell her what to do. Don't tell her what to fix.
Don't tell her what to fix. Don't tell her what to do. She's in charge in the home. Didn't you know that? New fiqh just dropped. Women are in charge. The wife is in charge, not you. Don't puff your chest out.
Don't tell her so. She don't have to do nothing for you.
She don't have to do nothing for you. Nothing.
You. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, Al-Rijal qawwamuna 'ala an-nisa. This don't mean that you are the commander of the women. No.
Al-Rijalu qawwamuna 'ala an-nisa. That doesn't mean you're the commander of women. That means you're nothing. That means she's the leader, actually. You thought qawwamuna 'ala an-nisa means that men are authorities over women? Like all the tafsir say, all of the tafsir say that Al-Rijalu qawwamuna 'ala an-nisa means that he is the commander of women. Like he's the emir. Husbands are the emir of their wives and their women folk. Fathers are the emirs of their women folk. All of the tafsir say that. But no, it's actually the opposite. It means she's the boss. Don't puff out your chest. Don't you know the Quran? This is a sheikh.
You have responsibility to them.
Yeah,
she doesn't have to work. She don't have to lift a cup.
She doesn't have to work. She doesn't have to lift a cup. She doesn't do anything. There's no responsibility. That's what al-rijalu qawwamuna 'ala an-nisa means. It means she has no responsibility. Oh, that's an interesting tafsir, sheikh. Jazakallahu khair for that amazing tafsir. Where did you learn that? What books did you read that has that profound tafsir of the Quran in Surah An-Nisa? Wow, I really did not know that. That's what Al-Rijalu Qawwamuna 'ala an-Nisa means. This is groundbreaking tafsir.
She don't have to do any work. She don't have to clean your clothes. She don't have to iron your clothes. She don't have to wash no dishes. She don't have to cook no food for you. She don't have to do anything. This is not her job.
It's not her job. Nothing. Literally nothing. She has to do nothing. And you might think that, yeah, you paid a mahar and you are working to provide, you're working to pay the rent and pay the bills, pay the taxes, and you're providing a car and you're providing food for your wife and kids, and you might think that you're doing all of that and that entitles you to, like, at least your wife should make herself available to you for intimacy purposes and she should, do something. No. She does nothing. She doesn't do anything for you. In fact, think about what you can do for her more. You're not doing enough. You're not doing enough for her. The fact that you know her, that is her favor upon you. That's a big favor. You're never going to repay that. She doesn't need to do anything. Imagine someone listening to this and thinking that this is Islam. Like, their life is going to be destroyed. It's not an exaggeration. Their lives are going to be destroyed, like in terms of marriage, like their expectations. Or a woman reads this, a Muslim woman reads this, oh, this is Islam. This is what the sheikh is saying. He's a sheikh. I don't have to do anything. Like, imagine the sense of entitlement. That is going to destroy a marriage. Absolutely destroy the marriage, because she is going to be perpetually dissatisfied. She's going to be perpetually disgruntled. Why am I doing anything? I owe him nothing. He owes me everything. And it's in the Quran. He cited a verse of the Quran. It's going to absolutely destroy your marriage. Because, yeah, and we'll talk about the evidences and the proofs of this. So let's continue.
You want somebody to do that? Go hire a servant.
Go hire a servant.
But if she does that, this will be a blessing for her in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When you marry her.
So it's just sadaqah. If she does anything for you, it's sadaqah. It's like a blessing. It's her favor upon you. If she does anything, like you go and you toil in the fields, or like you're working this back-breaking job, or you're sitting behind a desk for 8 hours a day getting yelled at by your manager because you didn't submit the reports on time. You're 10 minutes late and the client is angry. You getting chewed out. You commute back home after a long day, and then your wife is sitting there on the couch watching Netflix, maybe eating a snack. She's almost 200 pounds, but she's beautiful no matter what her weight. Of course, we know that. And, you ask, well, hey, honey, what's for dinner? She says, oh, I just microwaved some microwavable dinners, TV dinner. I hope that's good. Or how about we just order out? Honey, couldn't you maybe cook something? Maybe just put some chicken in the oven, or maybe you could, I'm not asking for much. Could you just, maybe boil some pasta? Maybe we could open some spaghetti, have some spaghetti and what? I microwaved that TV dinner for you. I microwaved. That's sadaqah. That's a blessing that I'm bestowing on you. You ungrateful misogynist. Don't you know what the sheikh said? Anything that I do, you be grateful for that TV dinner. You be grateful. Now, excuse me, you're interrupting my show. You eat your TV dinner and you shut up. Don't you know that in the house, I'm the boss? That's what the sheikh said. In the house, I'm the boss. You don't tell me nothing. You don't tell me nothing, you bum. You bum. By the way, I need some new clothes. By the way, don't you know you have to provide for me? You have to provide what I want. Don't you know that? Now eat your TV dinner and shut up. You think I'm exaggerating, but this is the life of many Muslim men. Maybe even in the millions, maybe even in the tens of millions. I don't want to say hundreds of millions because that's too depressing, but tens of millions, perhaps. This is how they're living their lives. Why? Because you have this sheikh on social media who's brainwashing an entire generation or two. And he was preceded by, he didn't learn it from nowhere. He probably learned it from these other shuyukh these westernized reformists, and they've been peddling this same kind of feminist nonsense, like stroking the egos of women. And it's never enough, by the way. So here are the comments to this TikTok, because I thought some of the comments were really telling. Well, like, I show this video and I react to it, but is it actually having an impact, like that video, on Muslims? Well, yes, it is. You know, BB says, most husbands consider their wife as a free servant. So basically doing your basic responsibilities as a Muslim wife means that you're a servant. Well, what about him? Like, what if I said that most wives consider their husbands to be a free servant, or to be an ATM, you know, just putting out money, a money machine. Like, if you consider having any responsibility or any accountability as being a servant, then men are servants by that definition as well. Husbands are servants by that definition as well. If your husband shows true, genuine love, care, respect, and values his wife, then a wife, out of her love for him, will do this for him. So sounds like a good comment, right? Not really, because it's making contingent, like it's making you fulfilling your obligations contingent on love, which is not the way that it works. Like when you have an obligation to someone and someone has a right over you, it doesn't matter how you feel. You are responsible for that. And it goes both ways. Like, is your husband providing for you and taking care of you and protecting you contingent on how he feels about you, whether he loves you or not? Is it? You know, oh, honey, I really didn't feel the spark this month, so I'm not paying rent. Or, oh, honey, you know, I know that it's dark out and we're in the middle of the city, but I don't feel like protecting you because I really don't feel the love tonight, so you're on your own. Is his protection and providing for you contingent on love? No woman would agree to that. So why is your responsibility towards him in the marriage contingent on genuine love, care, and respect? Yeah, obviously, love, care, and respect are great things, and you want to imbibe those. But there has to be a bedrock of responsibility, accountability, what you have to do in a marriage. And we've talked about it over and over again on the show, like the duties of a wife versus the duties of a husband. Those have to be maintained regardless of how you happen to feel. But a lot of women don't get that, unfortunately. This was interesting. As a wife, I must clean and cook for my husband. A man must just relax after working hard or bond with us as a family. Okay, so a reasonable comment here. And then look at the reaction. It is not an obligation unless it's asked by the husband. May Allah bless us with righteous, loving spouses. So again, it's not an obligation to maintain your house and cook and clean, take care of the children. Oh, that's not a responsibility. Well, that's what the sheikh said. And then someone says, no, it's not. You know, you don't have to do it. Let's not make something fard that isn't. And then the bottom comment, no, who said that the husband has the right to order you to cook and clean? The Prophet ﷺ never did that to his wives. He cooked and cleaned for himself. So now you're fabricating hadith. Where do you see the Prophet ﷺ cooking? Like, where is that? Like, the Prophet ﷺ never asked his wives to cook and clean. Like, do you know how many hadith there are and narrations about the wives of the Prophet ﷺ cooking and cleaning? So let's continue, because I want to bring up some sources too, so you don't think this is just being made up. So if my husband pays all the bills and takes care of me, then of course I'll do the housework and get him what he wants. We work together. Okay, that's a reasonable comment. You know, he does his share. He pays the bills. He takes care of you, and you do the housework, and you get him what he wants. That's a good, healthy mentality for a successful marriage. And then this commenter says, the point is you don't have to do anything, but if you do, it's a blessing. He said they need to be quiet. The sheikh told men to just shut up. So you don't have to do anything. It's just sadaqah. It's just a blessing if you do it. It's charity for your husband. And tell him, sis, tell these lazy feminazis this is not how Islam works. Okay, so this is supporting the original comment. But yeah, you can see like the amount of confusion. Like a lot of these women are confused. And this compassionate Imam says, spreading nonsense, TikTok video watched by thousands, hundreds of thousands. So if you want more in-depth answer to the question of, well, are women or wives responsible for housework like cooking and cleaning and taking care of children? I highly recommend reading this article, Are Wives Responsible for Housework in Islam? It's written by Mufti Zamil ar-Rahman, who is a very distinguished sheikh and scholar based out of the UK. And he's written this article, which is very in-depth and brings a lot of proof and evidence from the Quran and Sunnah, as well as the statements of the ulama throughout history. And it completely debunks this kind of simp imam narrative that we see that, oh, there's no responsibilities for women to do anything in the household as wives. He completely debunks that. And he brings many narrations about the kind of work inside the house that, for example, the daughter of the Prophet ﷺ would do, Fatima, or his wives, Ummahat al-Mu'mineen, the kind of work that they did in the house. All of that is narrated with sources in this article. So please check this out on muslimskeptic.com. Are wives responsible for housework in Islam?